Abominable is your classic Bigfoot story, but with an even greater sense of hopelessness, because this time, our main character is paralyzed from the waist down. All he can do is watch as the bodies start piling up. The movie stars Matt McCoy, which I recognize him from the AARP commercials, but he's a pretty big actor. Other pretty big actors in this movie are Lance Hendrickson and Jeffrey Combs. But I'm jumping ahead here. Let's start at the beginning. We get things started with your classic Sasquatch attack. Bigfoot killed a farmer's horse and his dog. He scares the family inside, but ultimately leaves them alone. Next, we meet Preston Rogers and his nurse Otis. Preston's doctor thinks it would be good for him to go to his old cabin in the woods. Years ago, Preston was involved in a rock climbing accident that killed his wife and left him paralyzed. Otis has got to be the worst nurse I have ever seen. He offers Preston a shake, but they don't have soy milk, so he wants to use regular milk, but Preston's allergic to it. I'm pretty sure that's something a nurse should know. Anyway, Otis goes to town for soy milk and leaves Preston alone in the cabin. That's when Preston meets his neighbors, a bunch of girls having a bachelorette party for the weekend. At least he's got something to look at while he's up there. And look at them he does. Most of this movie is just Preston spying on the girls through binoculars. But it's not as creepy as it sounds. Most of the time, he's trying to help them from something out in the woods. Eventually, one of the girls is taken. Preston tries to tell the rest of them that something's up, but they just think he's a pervert.
What are you looking at, you perv?
He catches a brief glimpse of Bigfoot in the woods and slowly backs into the cabin. His phone line is down, but he still has internet, so he emails the police that a girl was taken by a creature. Here's where he went wrong. He should have said that a girl was taken by a man. Then the police would be up there in a hurry. Instead, they think it's a prank and ignore it for now. Otis is back from town and Preston wants him to tell the girls about Bigfoot. Naturally, he doesn't believe him either and won't help out at all. The farmer from the beginning gathered up his friends, and finally, we have the best scene in the movie. Really, it's just Lance Hendrickson and Jeffrey Combs talking, but it's so authentic, it feels like friends BSing around a campfire.
Oh, you don't believe in Squatch?
Hell no.
Well, then what the hell are you doing here?
They hear something in the woods, and Hendrickson goes to investigate. He finds a cave, and deep inside he finds the girl that Bigfoot took. He tries to help her, but Bigfoot gets her first. The guys blast at it, but don't manage to hit it, and Bigfoot kills him. Back at the cabin, Preston has his own troubles. This time, he sees Bigfoot kill one of the girls. Of course, Otis didn't see this happen, and he tries to give Preston a sedative. Doing what needs to be done, Preston manages to get a hold of it and inject Otis, knocking him out. The monster manages to get inside the girl's cabin, and after a little cat and mouse, kills all of them but one girl, Amanda, who makes it to Preston and is safe for now. Their plan is to use his old climbing gear to get down from the cabin, set a trap to distract the beast, and get out of there. Preston ends up getting down. Then it's Amanda's turn. But before she can get to the bottom, Bigfoot starts pulling her back up. It's not looking good for her, but then Otis comes to save the day. He hits him with an axe, but Bigfoot takes a bite out of him. Otis bought Amanda just enough time to get her and Preston to his car. She peels out and, well, crashes into a tree. Preston manages to back the creature into a tree with his car, pushing the axe all the way through him. Oh, that's gotta hurt. He pins Bigfoot in between the car and a tree, crawls to Amanda as Bigfoot passes out. Amanda is able to pull Preston to the road, and the police show up. I guess they finally decided to do a little investigating. Preston and Amanda are taken to the hospital while the police take a look in the woods, where they find several more angry Sasquatches. You can really sense Preston's helplessness in this movie. He can't do much of anything. The phone is out, the police don't believe him, and he can't even go outside because the stairs in his cabin. This movie was recommended to me by Brian Gatto, the horror show host, and he said this is his favorite Bigfoot movie. And as far as Bigfoot movies go, it's pretty good. It would blend in with all the others if it wasn't for Preston being bound to a wheelchair. The Bigfoot looks a little goofy, he looks like a fat old man, but the acting is good, the music fits the mood, and the effects aren't bad. I give Abominable 2.5 gaping mouth Bigfoots out of 4.
This guy goes to a petting zoo with some of his friends and he decides to demonstrate the effectiveness of crazy glue.
Crazy glue.
Yeah, you know that shit. He squirts it in both his hands and he leans over this fence and he slaps both hands onto the rear end of a rhinoceros.
You are
No, I'm not kidding you. No shit, this thing takes off, yanking this guy right off his feet, and all he can smell is ass.
If for some reason you haven't seen it, check out the watch along that Brian posted on the horror show host's page. It was a lot of fun to watch this movie.